Well, hi, I'm Yutaka, and this is George. We're with the Horror Hour. How are you all today?
Very
Doing good.
good.
How are you?
I'm better now that I finished the movie. I love horror films, and so what I'd love to know is what was it like from both you filming those intense scenes that you had?
Oh gosh.
Mm,
It's hard to make it look real. It's hard to
mm.
be like, yes, I'm really gonna die, or like somebody's
Yeah.
really chasing me with a knife, or
Hmm.
this and this. Like
Right.
those like as an actor, like those things are like, I don't know, that's just a challenge to like make it look super real.
Yeah.
Like,
And then
yeah.
being with like master classes like Anna Shlumsky and
Oh,
Kevin
totally.
Bacon and Kerry Preston, I'm like, okay, let's deliver,
Yes,
please.
let's learn. Yeah.
Let's learn, let's
Yeah.
soak it up. And I just felt like in my intense moment, he gave me everything that I needed to deliver the performance. Like I felt so supported in the scene.
Watching that part too, like just terrifying to
Your
watch when we were
therapy.
filming.
Oh, both of you like raised my blood pressure with that.
My God, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the
Also,
topics.
sorry for raising your
Sorry,
blood
right.
pressure.
Yeah, he's old, and we've got to be careful these days.
True.
But given the topics that are addressed throughout this, how important was it for all of you to be a part of this movie in particular?
I mean, it was just rewarding.
Yeah.
It was rewarding to be a part of a project that actually takes us seriously. Like, not the token, not the diversity quota check off. It's actually like for us, by us, and it just feels so much more authentic and
Yeah.
free flowing that
Yeah.
way.
Like the way that there was so much care. Thank you, Scott.
Care, yeah,
Thank you,
no,
Scott.
thank you,
That was
Scott.
put into trying to have all the casting be like just as it needed to be and like have all the characters not feel like they were just like accessories or something like
Yeah.
that.
It was like,
And I mean,
Yeah.
that wasn't going to happen because John Logan was at the,
Right,
John
exactly.
Logan himself
Yeah.
is gay.
Mhm.
But, hats off to Blumhouse and to Peacock, I have to say. Blumhouse came to me and said, would you please executive produce this? Giving me taking me from being a consultant to giving me a real amazing position of power where I could, make sure that the things got done right and well all the way through, which was the whole process of this. And then to land at Peacock where they're, I think in times past, an LGBTQ themed show would be considered, the LGBTQ theme would be considered a liability. And Peacock chose this because of the theme, because it's LGBTQ. And that care and that support has been evident all the way through. So, it was important for me to come on to make sure that would happen. But when I got there, I was so proud and pleased to see that, like, it wasn't even a question. This was going to be done right.
yeah.
So, with the themes and everything that is addressed in this film, I would like to know from Austin and Theo, how did you kind of, disengage or decompress after these scenes? Because self-care is important.
Both we're both like,
we would okay, I can say for myself, I definitely would have just like a cool down trailer moment of just like but I think honestly the rides home like just as a cast like in the van talking with each other doing extracurricular activities as a cast that was a grounding centering moment. It just reminded you, it's a role. We're past some of where these characters are, and it's just we got to remind us. I got to remind myself a little bit, like, okay, you know what? Let me. You good.
yeah,
So
I totally echo everything that you said. Yeah, there were times where I was like, oh no, it's getting too real. I need to create a separation. And like, it was kind of a challenge sometimes because, I'm like, I'm, not 17 anymore, but my character is. And like, when I was 17, shit was real bad, in regards to what was going on. Cause I came out when I was like 17. Yeah, so yeah, having really amazing support on set, especially with Scott being around, and especially John, who was like I thought very attentive and very much was like, you're safe, like you can be real, like it's gonna be okay. It was we were very supported, I think, but it was hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Very hard sometimes.
It was as important to make sure that everybody was okay off screen as it was to make sure that it was real on screen.
Mm-hmm.
No, I love to hear that. But I just want to say again, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. We really do appreciate it.
Thank
you.
you.
Well, I'm Yutaka, and this is George with the Horror Hour. George, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about there's one scene in particular that was probably my favorite scene in the whole movie. And it's when all the campers are just like literally living their best lives together. So what I want to know is how much fun did you all have making this movie?
We had
so much
fun.
Yeah.
That scene, we don't want to talk over each other. That scene in the movie in particular, where we're singing, was the last day that we were all going to be on set together as a group. It was only individual scenes after that point, so it was really sweet that I don't know. I feel like John kind of planned it that we would get to have this
everything was so purposeful,
joyous, that we would get to do that on the last day.
It was so special. It really, really was, especially that number because we're all coming together and having fun, and it's finally kind of everyone is accepting themselves and accepting each other and loving each other.
Yeah, and I'm a musician, so celebrating music towards empowering that and screaming out loud that we're perfect just the way we are. It's just such a great message to the world.
Oh, and our co-star Quay Tan got us all rings that say
"I
wore mine today."
See, you
they say perfect on them. She
Yeah.
all got us rings and left it on our chairs that day. It was
I have to wear mine to the premiere.
I love that. So I love horror, and I will say, in my almost 39 years, I've really never seen myself in films. So this question's really for Monique because it just meant so much to me that I finally got to see a queer Asian American portrayed on
I know you're
screen.
gonna make all
Make all of us
the
cry.
So I really would like to know what that was like because it really it means the world to me.
Yeah, I mean, I saw myself represented on screen for the first time in 2018 in Alice Wu's Netflix film, The Half of It. So I spent my whole life never seeing myself represented on screen. And this is a movie I wish existed when I was growing up.
Yes.
And it's not lost on me that I got the opportunity to play this role. And it just means so much. I mean, you just saying that I can't curse.
It's almost gonna make me cry.
And I'm just like so excited, not just for Asian American youth, but just for queer youth to get to see themselves authentically represented on screen because representation matters so much. I can't tell you the visceral reaction I had when I saw myself for the first time. And if we had it growing up, we might have turned out way better than we are now. I don't know. We don't know. We turned out fine.
Yeah.
You have to talk about what you put into Veronica as well, like with the tattoos and everything. And because
okay. So I mean, I got to talk about intersectionality as a person of color. It's not explicitly in the script that she's Korean American, but John and I collaborated on picking the tattoos, and there's a Korean tattoo that says "Ne maum은 들리니," which translates to "Can you hear my heart?" And it was just so important to me that the audience knows that she's Korean American without having to say it.
Yeah, you guys are gonna make me cry. I'm sorry.
I know, and my last bloody thing now sounds so redundant and basic because you just had a beautiful heart to heart, and mine's like, what was it like? Did you feel the Friday the 13th vibes while you're on set? But did you feel the Friday the 13th vibes while you're on set?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can like remember myself in Brazil, like watching Friday the 13th, like Kevin's first movie, and then being now on set with him in a summer camp is just like life is too good, you know.
I will tell you, in Georgia, in those woods, like when there is no light, I mean, there is
No
nothing.
light.
Like you can't see in front of your face. Like it was really authentically terrifying. Like, and Georgia woods have this like quality of very thin trees close together. It was so creepy.
No,
No, ma'am, I wouldn't be there.
No cell phones.
reception.
And apparently one of the cabins was haunted.
Yeah, people were
Yeah.
saying
Survived.
that
Like they hear
the
ghosts.
campgrounds are like famously haunted. They see ghosts on the grounds. Yeah, there were some creepy night shoots.
It happened to me. So,
Well, I mean-
watch out, guys.
Be careful. Stay safe, everyone. But I just wanted to finish and say thank you so much, guys, for
Thank
taking
you.
the time out to stay to speak to us.
Thank
We had
you.
a blast, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
You have been listening to the Horror Hour.